Dennis Pierce, Pickett Street Properties.
Jesse Moore, Pickett Street Properties.
All right, Jesse, we get to talk about my favorite topic having to do with short sales.
Closings?
You hit it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that approvals are good, but nothing sweeter than a closing, because that means you've done everything necessary to get your sellers out of a bad situation. So,
Right.
So yeah, it's good for us to share success stories from time to time.
So what have you got?
I had two short sale closings in the month of January. One of those, we've talked about both of these on previous videos. One was a 2-year short sale that I do not plan to repeat anytime soon.
Say no more.
Bank of America. And you know what? It ended really well. That one ended really well. The sellers were very grateful. I appreciate their patience with me throughout that process. They ended up not signing a promissory note and not having to contribute any funds to the short sale to the bank or to the process itself, other than normal expenses, which is maintaining utilities and paying for the septic pumping. So.
Which as a seller in a short sale is the best case scenario.
And I have to be, I can't help but say that there's some. I'm proud of that one, because it's a military family with 5 kids and one on the way, and I am proud that they are now out of that situation and they can move forward with their family to the next phase of their lives. So that was the first one, and the second one we talked about in a video where we say I think the title of the video is. It's about being creative. You have to be creative with short sales. And this is one where we actually let the buyers move in prior to closing in an effort to keep them dedicated to the process. And sure enough, and the other thing I'm proud of with this sale is that I actually got approval relatively quickly on this file.
What was the timing on that one?
Well, it's complicated because I got approval right away, and then the buyer walked, and then I had to redo the process.
Okay.
Well, and here's the thing. It took about a month to get approval. It was a small servicer, and that actually worked to our detriment, because it took me a month to get an approval. And here's the thing. Most agents would be excited by getting an approval letter.
Right.
But I don't, because I have to read it first. And this one...
Wait a minute. You actually read an approval?
Yeah, well, it's kind of important, because this one... basically, it had no language saying that, hey, we're not going to pursue a deficiency on a short sale. And so...
Just a little matter of detail there.
Yeah, just a little bit. So I told them, I said, thanks, but no thanks. Thanks for the approval letter, but you need to include something in here that says you're not going to pursue a deficiency. And so she didn't know what I was talking about. And it was serviced by Freddie Mac, and so she talked to her Freddie Mac rep, and they go, oh, we don't do that. We don't do that. We don't include any
Is that right?
letters that have deficiency language in them.
Freddie Mac doesn't know the English language.
Well, and
except if they're attorneys, I'll bet do.
Well, I just like how they say we don't do that. So I sent them 2 previous approval letters I had from Freddie Mac.
Strangely enough,
loans that had deficiency language in them, and so I sent that over to them. That didn't work right away, and so I actually emailed 6 VPs at Freddie Mac. And then I included Attorney General Rob McKenna and a senator or 2 and a local news anchor.
Also known as a little-known technique known as escalation.
Yeah, so I had to escalate in a big way. And oddly enough, that worked. Oddly enough, someone there said, hey, this doesn't make any sense. I go, you guys can foreclose on them and then there won't be a deficiency. Is that what you want? Or you could just say, hey, we approve the short sale and we waive the deficiency. And so it took me a month to get the approval letter, the first approval letter. It took me a month to get that a second approval letter with the deficiency language that I needed. In that time, the buyer's lease expired and they had nowhere to go. And so they were either going to have to renew their lease for a longer term or find a new place to live. And so this was a vacant home. We allowed them to move in. So they actually got to live in the place for about a month prior to closing, and
but as a result of that, they were very committed to the process.
And we had a successful closing. And guess what? No deficiency, no seller contribution, no promissory note to the sellers. The sellers actually had asked to send me something out of gratitude, and I declined and said, we get paid out of this process, and that's payment enough, and they're ecstatic. They also get to move on to their new life in another state.
I think the final takeaway on this is Freddie Mac actually does.
Yes. Here's the thing: if you're a real estate agent and you're watching this, don't ever believe that. Don't ever believe when a bank tells you we don't ever do X. Don't ever believe that, because most of the time they're not telling you the truth.
Well, and frequently you're talking to somebody who doesn't know the truth.
Right. Well, A, they didn't know what deficiency language meant,
Right.
and then B, no one wants to stick their neck out.
Yeah.
And if they don't want to stick their neck out and do the right thing,
You gotta chase it up the chain.
You have to force them
Yeah.
to do that. And so, you know what? And that's absolutely the best case scenario for everyone involved in this, in both of those short sales.
Right.
So we love sharing short sale success stories. So those are our 2 for the month of January.
That's it.
All right, thanks guys.
Thank you very much.